Georges Komatov was born on January 22, 1962, in Paris, France, to a family with strong athletic roots. His father, a former amateur boxer, and his mother, a former gymnast, were both highly involved in local sports communities, often encouraging Georges and his siblings to engage in various physical activities from a young age. Growing up in an environment that championed physical fitness, Komatov quickly found a passion for sports, excelling in multiple disciplines during his childhood. By his early teenage years, Komatov had narrowed his focus to track and field, where his natural speed and endurance set him apart from his peers. His primary interest was in middle-distance running, particularly the 800 meters, a race that demanded not only speed but also tactical intelligence and stamina. He began training at his local track club at the age of 14, where he showed immediate promise. Under the guidance of his coach, Komatov honed his skills, improving his technique and gradually moving up through the ranks of junior competitions. Komatov's raw talent did not go unnoticed. By the time he was 16, he had already set multiple regional records in his age group and had begun to compete at the national level. His breakthrough came in 1980 when he won the French Junior Championships in the 800 meters, an achievement that marked him as one of the top middle-distance runners in France. This victory catapulted him into the spotlight, drawing the attention of athletics coaches and talent scouts from across Europe. Rise to prominence, 1981-1982. In the years following his junior success, Komatov continued to develop into a formidable middle-distance runner. His performances in national competitions were consistently strong, and by 1981, he had established himself as one of the top 800-meter runners in France. That year, Komatov won his first senior national title in the 800 meters at the French Athletics Championships, cementing his place among the country's elite athletes. His victory marked the beginning of a rise that would take him to the international stage. Throughout 1982, Komatov continued to build on his success. His time in the 800 meters began to improve consistently, and he entered several high-profile international competitions. His performance at the 1982 European Athletics Championships in Athens was particularly noteworthy. Although he did not reach the podium, he advanced to the semi-finals, where he posted a career-best time of 1:45.83 in the 800 meters. This time was a personal best, and it was enough to place him among the top middle-distance runners in Europe at the time. Komatov's performance at the European Championships marked a significant milestone in his career, as it demonstrated his ability to compete at the highest levels of international athletics. By 1982, Komatov had already achieved a reputation for his tactical acumen and his ability to perform under pressure. His steady improvement in the 800 meters, as well as his success in domestic competitions, set the stage for what would be a breakthrough year in 1983. Career peak, 1983. The year 1983 would prove to be the peak of Georges Komatov's career. Having already established himself as a national champion and one of Europe's leading middle-distance runners, Komatov set his sights on the global stage. 1983 was a year of tremendous promise for the athlete, as it represented his best opportunity to make a significant mark in the world of track and field. In early 1983, Komatov competed in several indoor events, achieving strong finishes in the 800 meters. His times continued to improve, and his performances in international meetings helped solidify his place as one of the top 800-meter specialists. However, the most significant milestone of Komatov's 1983 season came at the 1983 World Athletics Championships in Helsinki, Finland, where he made his debut on the global stage. The 1983 World Championships marked a turning point in Komatov's career. As one of the youngest competitors in the 800 meters field, Komatov had to contend with seasoned athletes, including the legendary Kenyan runners and American competitors. Despite this, he performed exceptionally well in the heats and semi-finals, advancing to the final with a personal best time of 1:44.75, which was one of the fastest times of his career. In the final, Komatov faced fierce competition from athletes like the American Johnny Gray, the Kenyan Mike Boit, and the Soviet Union's Yuri Borzakovsky. Although he was not expected to medal in such a competitive field, Komatov's tactical prowess came to the forefront. He ran a near-perfect race, maintaining his position throughout the middle stages and closing strong in the final stretch. While he ultimately finished just outside of the medal positions, placing fourth, Komatov's performance was one of the most impressive of his career. His time of 1:44:30 in the final was a new personal best and placed him among the world's elite 800-meter runners. Although he did not earn a medal at the World Championships, Komatov's performance was widely regarded as a breakthrough. It confirmed his ability to compete at the highest level of international athletics and established him as a key figure in French middle-distance running. Main achievements: Georges Komatov's brief career, spanning only a few years, was defined by several remarkable achievements. 1980 French Junior Championships. Komatov's first major title, which solidified his reputation as one of the top young middle-distance runners in France. 1981 French Athletics Championships. First senior national title in the 800 meters, marking his arrival as one of the country's best middle-distance runners. 1982 European Athletics Championships. Athens. Semi-finalist in the 800 meters, with a career best time of 1:45.83. Establishing Komatov as a leading middle-distance runner in Europe. 1983 French Athletics Championships, retained his national title in the 800 meters, showcasing his dominance in French middle-distance running. 1983 World Athletics Championships, Helsinki. Finished fourth in the 800 meters final with a personal best time of 1:44:30, confirming his place among the world's elite. Komatov's achievements, especially his breakthrough performance at the 1983 World Championships, were testament to his exceptional talent, work ethic, and determination. Despite the fierce competition he faced, his ability to rise to the occasion and post personal bests in major international events underscored his potential as a top-tier middle-distance runner. Challenges and injuries. Despite his impressive rise to prominence, Georges Komatov's career was marred by a series of injuries that hindered his progress. After his outstanding performance in 1983, Komatov began experiencing recurring hamstring and knee injuries, which slowed his training and competition schedule. These injuries were a constant challenge for the athlete, who had always been known for his speed and endurance. The physical toll of training and competing at the highest level, combined with the pressure to perform in major competitions, eventually led to a decline in his form. Komatov was forced to take a prolonged break from competition in 1984 to recover from a series of injuries. Although he tried to return to form in subsequent seasons, the injuries and the mounting pressure of international competition took a toll on his career. Final years and retirement. 1983. After the 1983 World Championships, Georges Komatov's athletic career began to fade due to the constant battle with injuries. Despite his promising performance in Helsinki, Komatov was unable to maintain his competitive edge. In late 1983, he made the difficult decision to retire from competitive athletics at the age of 21. Komatov's decision to retire was a shock to many in the athletics community, as he had shown such incredible potential and was considered one of the most talented middle-distance runners of his generation. However, his persistent injuries and the mental toll of his brief but intense career made it clear that retirement was the best option for his long-term health.